Hello, and thank you for joining me today. I am Gemma from the Crafty Little Gem, and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK, and thank you for joining me. Today we are going to make a bag. Not really sure what I'm going to call it yet, but I have come up with this. I saw a picture of a bag on Pinterest, and I thought I want to have a go. So we're going to put all the little bits and pieces on, but this is the measurements. As I went along, I needed to write them down to make sure I could recreate it. And here we go. So I have already done one side and the other side, so I'll pop those out of the way. But you will obviously need two of each of this, so you'll need 2 pieces of A4 and 1 piece of 12 by 12. And for your A4, first of all, I don't even know where my measurements are. That's what I'm going to be doing. That one. Let's have a look. I put it upside down. When I wrote it down, I would put everything upside down stupidly. So this is what we are going to do. So with your A4 cardstock on the 8 1/4 side, first of all, I am sure it is 2. It is. So we're going to come in 2 inches from each side. What is that under there? 2 inches and 6 1/4. Yeah. Like so. We're then going to turn it onto the 11 3/4 side. And we are going to score at, I'm sure it was 2 again. 2. And 9. Let me just pop a notch there. I'm sure I did it different on this one. Yeah. So that's 7 1/2. So it's 2 and 7 1/2. This is going to be the bottom. That's why I changed it, because there was an overlap on the bottom. So this is going to be 2 and 7 1/2. I'm going to bring this one back in again, and at the 4 3/4, just pop a little mark, a little notch. And it was 4 3/4. I'm going to do it on the other side, so I'm just going to pop my stylus in, and let me just pop that in there. So I brought it to 4 1/4 from the top, brought my stylus down on that line, and just did it at the bottom as well. So pop that out of the way just for 1 minute, and we are going to grab our ruler, and we're having this as our marker, and we're going to bring it to where these sections cross over. Excuse me. So there and there. And then from this one, we're going to do exactly the same. There and there. So we can fold and burnish our score lines. Like so. Just on those ones there. Turn it back across over for you so you can see properly. And I'm just going to cut up them 2 score lines. Just removing that little score line away. And there. And I'm literally taking the score line away, so it's a tiny little bit. Okay, I'm going to repeat that on the other side. Just notching that score line away, and then we can actually fold these in, and we're going to do that on both sides. They're going to fold in, so we've got a little triangle. Turn it over, and you can burnish these score lines down now, and what we're actually going to do is take the bulk away. We're going to actually take it away from here. So grab your ruler. It doesn't have to be straight. I am just drawing a line this side of the score line. So I've actually got a score line here. I'm drawing a line at that side because we're actually going to glue these down, and you don't want it to interfere with that score line there. So just a little bit further away. Oh, my light's going. And then you can fold it back out and just trim that off. Trim it to that corner. Trim it out to that corner there. Like so. Just get them bits out of the way because I have got extra stuff here that we're going to be using. Fold them over again and just make sure they're not going to interfere with this score line. And then we could actually glue them down. So a little bit on there. And then we can just fold those in and glue them down. Do the same on that side. You're not going to see any of this, so don't panic. And that is going to be the top. So on the bottom, we're actually going to take these squares away. Like so. And you will need them just to cut out some circles. And that is your side pieces done. And we can pop them to the side. And then we're working on these bits. So what we're going to actually do on these, this is 6 inches by 12. We're going to grab our scoreboard and pop it in. And I want this bit to be the bottom. So we are going to score at 4 1/4. And I'm going to do it quite lightly on this sheet. And then I'm going to turn it to the 6-inch side with the bottom bit at the top. I'm just going to check that yet. And then 1 inch from either side. So 1 and 5. I'm just going to score up to this horizontal score line. I'm going to turn it back. And I'm going to just pop a notch at... Let me turn it that way. I'm going to pop a notch at 9 5/8. So get my stylus at 9 5/8, pull it down, pop it up and bring my stylus back up to there. We're then going to turn it to the top and I am going to notch at 2 3/4 and 3 and 2 3/4 and 3 1/4. And we can pop that out the way. So what I'm actually going to do, these are actually cutting score lines. You can't see either of these, but you've got a score line going up there and you've got a score line going up there. I'm actually going to remove this rectangle from the bottom. You can use your scoreboard if you wish, but I'm literally going up to that score line there and cutting across that score line there. I'm going to do the same the other side, taking the score line away and removing that section. And then this is where I do bring my my trimmer in. And I am now going to, you can just see there, I have a little notch. I'm going to cut from the inside of this up to that notch. So just line it in the track. You can fold that bit up and out the way. There's my little notch. There is where it's joining on. And I'm just going to trim that away. Like so. I'm going to do the same. You can bring this up if you wanted a better guide. So I have my little notch just here. Pop that in the track and line it up with that one. And trim. And then all we're going to do is mark that line closer to this edge, to that one. And this little notch here closer to this one. So I'm just going to check that they are there. So that is that one, I can see it now. And to that bit there, that's coming off. And I've got my little dent in there and my little dent there. So that will come off there. And that is what we will be left with. This is where the handle's going to go. And that's going to be the bottom. Okay. I hope it's all making sense so far. And what we are going to do, move those out the way. We're going to start to construct it now. So you should have 2 of each. And what we're going to do is, first of all, we are going to bring in the side. This wants to go underneath, but that one wants to go out. And then that is the lid for the top. So I hope you can see how that goes. So on my 2 crushed curry sections, I'm going to bring that in. And on this, so I've got that way, it's going to be like so. And it should fit within that square. I'm going to bring the other side in with the smaller piece, and that is going to fit bang up to that one there. So pop that dead up to that line, and that wants to fall into place with that one. So we've got a big section now. So now it's up to you whether you want this to be underneath on the outside or whether you want it to cover up the middle section here. I'm going to have mine on the outside. So we can fold all of that back. I'm going to put some adhesive onto this here. And then I'm just going to lay that on top. The 2 edges should come up and be in that gap. Like so. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that in. I'm going to bring it down and do this side first. I'm going to put liquid adhesive on the inside of here. And I'm going to bring this side up to where it meets that. And I'm going to have that flat so that is looking like that. I'm going to quickly, might need some more adhesive on that one, I think. Let's fold the lids out. So I'm going to bring that one up and I'm going to bring that one up. And I'm going to fold it in. You can then fold that bit flat. And bring these side bits in. So make sure that's butted up against there, and make sure that is butted up against there. You're going to bring this side in and put glue on these and fold those over and then turn it over. So with these two bits, again, like I said, you're not going to see any of these lines that you put on before. Bring that one down and just let it grab. Bring that one down. Just let it grab, and then you can fold the whole thing over. Check everything is still in place. And that is the inside of your box. It is humongous. I'm just going to go over this side as well. So you should have pattern paper on the outside, the triangles on the inside, and then one of them will fold in, and that will be straight. Fold the other one in. We'll do a bit of cutting on them. We're just going to take a little bit of a wedge off with our long scissors. So let me just do that again. So it wants to be more off this side. So I'm actually going to angle like so. I'm going to do the same angle on here. So I'm going to start at this corner and I'm going to leave about 1/2 inch the other side. Same here, start at this corner. I'm going to leave 1/2 inch here. Just going to take that under, and I'm going to do the same on the bottom, leaving about 1/2 inch. You can measure if you want to, but again, you're not really going to see this bit because that bit's going to go in flat like so, and that's going to be your lid. So what we have now is I have cut out some circles. I have cut out 2 silver and I have just backed them onto each one. These measure 1 inch and the inside bit is 3/4 inch. So I've done 3/4 and then 1 inch. I'm actually going to glue that onto there like so and pop some studs in. The strips that I have used to connect it are 1/4 inch by 2, and all I have done is popped it in. Sorry, I've popped it in on one of the sides, popped a little bit of glue and then folded it over so they meet. You can then fold it there in the middle. Do exactly the same. This is the other one. Pop it in, because then that will actually move. Pop some glue just on one side. Fold it over. Try and get it sort of like the other side facing it ish. And then, like I said, I'm just going to pop that on there like so. Again with some liquid glue, liquid adhesive. I'm not going to put anything on the silver. So whichever you prefer to be the back and the front, we're just going to pop it at that point there and let it just adhere down. Turn it over, grab the other one that you've done, and pop that down as well. I'm going to just leave that there just while we do the handle. So for the handle, I have cut out 2 silver again, matching this. These measure about 1 3/4, and the one on the inside measures 1 1/4. So I've got 2 silver. So I've got 2 silver here for the other side. I've also cut the same out of the crushed curry cardstock, and I've cut 2 more, and I've actually just layered them all up. You should have a strip of cardstock, and this measures 5, 10, 11, so it's a full 11 3/4 strip, and that is by 3/4 inch. What I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to give it a bit of a curl, and then just bring in the other sides and curl it back on itself. You can pop it in your scoreboard if you want to, and we're just going to score at 1 inch on both ends, and then we know we've got the fold right. So I am going to pop the larger bit without the other tab on into that bit and fold it over. The tab for this one measures 1/2 inch by 3 inches, and you're just going to do exactly the same. You're going to pop it in and fold it round. I'm just going to pop some adhesive onto that bit there and fold it up. We can put a stud in it to make it look like a thingamajig. So what I'm going to do is, I've got my 2 silver ones cut out for the other side here. I'm going to go ahead and out of the offcuts that we have, I'm going to cut 2 the same in the corresponding cardstock, and I won't be long. So I'm back, and I've just die cut. I've done one. I've just done this one. This is the best tape that I find that doesn't rip your cardstock. Take all of that off. Take the middle bit off. And that bit comes out, and that's all I've used is just 2 circle dies in the diameter that I want, that I feel that I want all the way round. So we can glue and layer up these together. So once we've done them 2, we can then put the silver, or whatever colour you want. You might just want a brighter colour or the same colour. It's entirely up to you. Mix and match it how you want. But the larger ones are for the handle, and the smaller ones are just for the interest on the sides. And pop that, get rid of that bit there, pop that bit on top of there, and that now has made that really nice, thick and sturdy, really nice. So again, I've just brought that one in. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on that side and match up the ends. We can then pop that one in, put some adhesive on that inch, and because we've put that score line in, we know that that's where that's going to sit, and it's going to sit straight across. Like so. So we can bring the box in, and I am just going to pop mine there. So again, I needed to let that sit a bit more. Where's my clips? Big believer in clips. So I'm just going to pop that on there, because I'm going to put a clip on here in a minute to keep that there as well. Liquid glue on all of that bit and bring it to the top there. Bring in my clip, make sure that is got all down there. You can be a bit more patient than me. I'm really not that patient. We can turn it over and we can pop the other side on. So the top, don't worry about it being straight because this moves. So it will actually go where it needs to be when you're holding it anyway. So that one is, again, this bit here is to the top of the DSP. Hold that a little bit more just while I know it's setting. And we can pop that in, and that, because you've got sides that are covering these here as well, that is your little bag. And I think that would actually be really nice for Chinese New Year to take a present in. Okay, I'm going to pop some little diamantes and bits all over it. See the picture afterwards and see me get rid of this little bit of glue on here as well. And thank you for watching, everybody, and I shall see you in my next tutorial. Bye bye for now.